Position. Woo! Everything is good.
Beautiful.
Look at that. Look at that. All right, we are good for you. I'm gonna turn on the timer on my end. Just let me know countdown so that I can hit start at the right time.
Yep. Should I pop out of Discord? Can people hear me on the stream? I have my audio captured.
Oh, they can hear you on the stream, but I need to be able to hear you in the Discord as well.
Oh, okay. So just leave everything up.
Yeah.
Alrighty then. I will count down from 5 on file select, and we'll get going in a second. Oh, okay. So just leave everything up.
Yeah.
Let me mute the restream over here. Hello, chat. Hello, everyone. Everyone that I see calping it up over there. That was a great run that I have to check the rest of the VOD from for Castlevania. I gotta check out more old school Castlevanias. Here's a Metroidvania.
I did King Dracula while you were asleep.
Let's bring it into the modern age with some Hollow Knight. So I know there's a lot of people here that do know my run. There's a lot of people here that probably don't know Hollow Knight runs. Low percent is much harder than any percent. You don't get a lot of things that you ought to. It's completely unreasonable. It's great. Ready for a countdown here?
Mm-hmm.
Alright. I'll be on select. So here we go in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go.
All right, now let you to it. I'll be back in about 55-ish minutes to pass off for the next segment.
Sweet. All right. Whew, here we go. Starting out with some stuff already. You'll see me opening up that menu in order to take away my fall cap for speed, which means that we're going to fall really, really fast, a whole lot, by opening up our menu in midair, because we have downpatched to a different version of this game where we're still allowed to do that. So a lot of people here might not be familiar with Hollow Knight casually. They might not be familiar with low percent. They might not be familiar with any percent. So thankfully, we do have a little bit of time in the very beginning of this to go over kind of some basics, because it takes a good about 7 minutes before the run goes completely off the rails. And it does go pretty far off the rails at some point. So for the first 7-ish minutes of this game, it's all about simple movement, going into our menu, falling pretty quickly. Yo, Cosmic, how's it going? Shout out to Cosmic, who told me that Retro Rainbow was going on and how good of a cause it was, getting some representation in gaming, and telling me that I ought to run here. So thanks to him and all the lovely folks at Retro Rainbow for allowing me to come on here and showcase this to y'all. And thank you all in chat and otherwise for the support for the marathon. Really, really cool. Every bit counts. Support GaymerX, support Retro Rainbow. Hell yeah. So we're jumping here because it's faster. That's the answer for a lot of things. So Hollow Knight is it's a game that has like a lot of lore to it, a lot of different things going on. You're not going to really understand a whole lot of it by like watching a speed run. The thing that you need to know is that in any speedrun of this game, what you basically do is get something that allows you to wake people up, you wake 3 people up, and then you beat the final boss. And that's about all the context you need for understanding what's going to go on in the run and like why we're doing things. So the general run, no matter what category it is you're going to try to get all the movement mechanics you need to wake those 3 people up, you're going to wake them up, and you're going to beat the game. The difference between any percent and low percent is that if you, it's actually okay if we take damage here, because it doesn't matter what the, I see an online stopwatch. It doesn't matter if you take damage over here, because there's some free time to heal in a boss fight coming up. So as long as we have one mask is enough. Which is thankful, because you can get ahead a whole lot because of RNG and trying to get the cycles on those golems over there. So the biggest difference between low percent and any percent is that any percent gets 16% game completion. Low percent gets 11% game completion. But the 5% you get are all doozies. So people that have played this casually might know that it's possible to get a dash, which almost the entire game is based around movement-wise. We do not get that dash. That is 2 of the percent, and the boss fight to get it is 1 more percent. So what we're going to do is a whole lot of unreasonable platforming by repurposing combat mechanics as movement mechanics. And it gets kind of hairy later. So, and the other couple percent are another boss fight that allows us to route all around creation, trying to avoid a pretty easy boss, but it counts as a percentage, so we can't kill it. And a charm, which is the only charm we get in the game. There are a bunch of charms in the game, like dozens of them, a lot of different builds and all. The any percent route gets 1 of them that's really, really helpful, that increases your damage output. We don't get that, because apparently we don't like helpful things that allow us to kill bosses easier. So, I can start talking about what we're doing right now. This is the False Knight, and people casually probably remember this fight, but what they probably don't remember about this fight is what we're going to do in a second here. So we hit that thing 8 times, it pounds the ground 8 times. And we just break the wall and we leave. Because there are a couple different ways to get into the area that the thing we were going to get gets us into, he basically drops a key. And we don't use that key, because it's a percent. And because it's faster not to. At least in any percent. So here we are coming up to the overgrown mound. There's a snail shaman. We are Laveg. You were right, Pantaloon.
Hello there.
And we get the fireball. This is the most useful thing we get the entire run. Thanks for the following, Draco. And we are extra percentages. In my speed run, nope, we are going for 11. It's the bare minimum. So we talked to our snail shaman friendo. They gave us a fireball in order to do some stuff, and told us to kill something in here, so we're going to, and then we're going to leave. There's a lot of movement optimization that is more difficult to explain. Yay, double board break. But things will get kind of spicy. I'll tell you as soon as the route starts to diverge from the any percent route. So you'll notice that's RNG 50-50. We got the good RNG, so we got to kill that faster. So you'll notice this is in simplified Chinese, and I do not know simplified Chinese, but it is faster by about 20 seconds in any percent and a little bit less in low percent. And you'll notice just now, I don't know if you did, that as soon as we fireballed, it made us stall for a second, and that is very, very good for us, of course, because we're going to use that in order to skip a whole lot of platforming. So those of you familiar with any percent, we are going to go to green path. We have our 2 fireballs right now. Here is a 1.2 down patch exclusive trick. We can screen scroll to the left side, and that can hit several times. So instead of needing to hit that thing 4 times, we need to hit it 1 time. Except our one thing hit it 4 times. Off to green path. Some of the best music in the game over here. Super, super good. Chris Larkin did all the music for this. Shoutouts to Team Cherry and that guy. Very, very good. Love it. I listen to it at work all the time. So we're going through. We have a nail. We have a fireball spell. We have the bare number of masks. We have a little bit of soul. We're gonna kill some birds. There we go. Everything's on track. No worries. So here is where the route diverges. So instead of going to the left over there with a fireball skip and getting the dash, we go down over here to the right, and you can see what we do instead. So like all good Castlevania, Metroidvania games, there is a wall cling mechanic. So there is like a wall, like bounce kind of thing, whatever, that allows you to platform. We're going to go get that, except we're going to do it out of order. So that's what we're headed over to do now. The only problem is that you're supposed to have the dash for it. There are a couple of platforming sections where the game intends you to have the dash, and we're going to have to do some complicated fireball skips. In any percent, there's a couple fireball skips, but the main difference between something like low percent and any percent is that in any percent, if you miss a fireball skip, you miss like 6 seconds. And if you're really good at the game, that might be a reset point. Good. But in low percent, all the skips are required. There isn't really a chance to like have a backup and lose like 6 seconds or 20 seconds or something. You just have to, because you can't take the slower option and do the intended thing, because we don't have the moveset for the intended thing. Which is super great. So we have one of the hardest skips in the entire run coming up immediately at the divergence point, right here, in order to get into Fungal Wastes. And I will let it speak for itself if it works. Actually, we are going to take the safety bench over here real quick. And the reason that we're doing this actually isn't because we're scared about our health or something. It's because there's a risk of soft lock in a next section, and it's very, very unsafe. So all else fails, we have a much, much shorter run back. So that's a good idea. There you go. Okay. So that's one of the first fireball skips. It's a triple fireball skip into Fungal Wastes. You're clearly supposed to have dash for this. The rest of the platforming goes exactly like this too. It's pretty fun. So without getting too far into it, there are a couple relics in this game, right? Thank you for the calps, everyone. Yeah, that's a hard skip. It's a major reset point. This is difficult because you're supposed to have dash as well. So you need to reset this room full of those sporgs if you fall there, because they all do 2 masks of damage, and it's possible to get comboed. So you can die even if you're at full masks. And the reason we need to get this is we need to sell it to a guy later in order to get some money. Now, I didn't talk about the money route before, but we got 50 Geo. That's the little number in the bottom over there. It's called Geo. It's the currency in this game. And we needed that to unlock a stag station. There are only a couple of things we need money for in this entire run, and 3 of them are stag stations. Luckily for us, stag stations are not a percentage, which means that we can use it. It's like a fast travel mechanic. The stag station carries you to other stations that you've opened as a sort of warp point, a la old school like Castlevania's. Except it's not like a painting or like a really cool like statue or something. It's just literally a stag that is like on a railway, which is kind of cool. We're gonna hit this for safety. We have to do a lot of things for safety because normally you'd have to reset, and you can't reset in a marathon setting. Here are spore shrooms. So it's okay if we take damage here because this charm notch restores our health. Charm notches are not a percentage either. The funny thing is that we get 0 charms, so it's completely useless to us. Charms are the things that you equip, kind of like a badging system that I was talking about earlier, where we don't get that one really useful one. But we get exactly 0 charms this entire run, so the charm notch is really just to refill our health there, and because it isn't a percentage, it's very convenient. Hey, Link sub. Thank you for the support. So we get to chill out for a second and walk to the left, and then we don't get to chill out, because those familiar with the any percent route, there is There's a trick that you can do in any percent that saves maybe 20-30 seconds over the other route. Except the other route, of course, requires dash, which means that not only is the trick harder, but it's also required in this category. And that's a consistent motif throughout the entire run. It's pretty great. Also, check out this guy's collision over here, if you can. It has none, because 1.2, a lot of things are suggestions. Alright, first try explosion pogo. That was required because it's literally the only way to get up here. We got our first try, which is really cool. This is the part where you can soft lock, so I have to be really, really careful, and you'll see why in a second. The only way up here is the unintended way, because we don't have the intended way. So we have to do some interesting platforming. Very, very unsafe. Very, very unsafe. Don't worry, there are several backups that are increasingly more unsafe. Run low percent in a marathon, it'll be fun. Okay, we're gonna do the safest of all options, and we're gonna have to go for a couple of fireball skips. Which is safer. It's not gonna look safer. Alright, we got one shot at this. Oh, we did it. Okay. So the thing about this is that, like, in any percent, you have to go around, and it's sad and slow if it doesn't work, right? That's some horse nonsense, Jay. I would be, terrified. Also amused, but definitely terrified. So now that we have this wall cling, we don't soft lock here. See, we can jump on the wall now, and thank goodness. So, in any percent, you have to lose time and go around if that doesn't work. But in low percent, that's the only way that we have around there, right? So if you run out of soul, which is the thing that's in a little pool that's allowing us to cast our spells in the little corner there you see, and we run out of mantises in order to pogo off of and try to, like, jump up onto that platform, there's no way up. You have to reset. There's a free heal here. That's fine. As long as we have 2 masks, we're good. We're going to get a little bit of extra soul, and we're going to use some momentum shifts from here in order to get up onto these platforms. There we go. Yeah, Dizdon, I don't know. I mean, like, it's a category. I, like, highly, highly encourage people to try out the Hollow Knight run. Not this one. Is Claw worth 2%? I believe Claw is worth 2%, Pantaloon. But in the non-glitched versions, it is definitely required. So here's Deep Nest. A lot of you might remember from your casual playthrough. It's just as terrible, and in fact, more terrible than you remember. I have to go right here and catch this cycle. It's kinda tight. Kinda tight. Kinda tight. Kinda tight. Taking 2 hits is fine. Alright, we're good. So this cycle is damageless if you go fast, which means we don't need 1 more damage boost, and we're good. So, we're in Deep Nest. It's scary. There are spiders everywhere. There's a lot of insects everywhere. It's a running theme, entire game, right? I mentioned before the money route. So, the things we need money for in the entire game are 3 of those warp points and the lantern. And the lantern is, of course, required for you to see in the dark. Unfortunately for us, that's not why we get it, which means that we have to do dark rooms. So, before we get into this, right, yeah, we do not have the lantern. That's true. The lantern is worth 2%, and unfortunately, it is our way into Crystal Peaks, which is a different area, because we don't get the intended, like, dive spells and ground break spells and stuff, right? So we do get the lantern, and it's just so that we can get into that area for the Crystal Dash, which is another required item for completing the game, in terms of waking those 3 people up that we talked about before. Except it would be really, really unfortunate if we had to do all the rooms in the dark before getting the lantern and reaped no benefit from getting the lantern, right? I can't imagine why people don't run low percent, why it's not a more popular category, right? So, right now, we're not going to the dark room yet. What we are doing is going into the top end over here into an abandoned station to get the tram pass. Lucky for us, or I guess unlucky for us in this category, the tram pass is also not a percentage. So the reason that we can skip that one boss fight, not only is that a percentage from killing the boss, like the false knight, and getting the city crest, which is the key to where we're supposed to go next, but this tram pass is another way into the City of Tears, which is the area we'll be going to, with a lot of like rain and like blue. A lot of blue in this area. So we're going to get that. Notice that the geo count is 204. We need that geo count to be 250. That's how much the stag station costs at the end of all the dark rooms. And I don't know about you, but I do not want to farm money in the dark. That sounds terrible and unsafe and most importantly slow. So we're going to farm money here instead. So we're going to get this tram pass, which is not a percentage. Phew. And we're going to quit out to that bench. Something that I haven't been talking about is that it's really, really important to know when you can take a safety bench and when you can't, because there's a couple of points where if you take the safety bench, you kill the run because you need to quit back to it in order to route because, you know, you can't get back to where you were. So that's plenty of money, plenty of time. And we are quitting back out to our bench over here. So this is one of my favorite parts of the entire run, and it is maybe 1/3 of the reason people don't run this category. It's great. It's the dark rooms. So we're going to go just like we were before, and what we're going to do is we're going to go all the way and unlock one of those warp points after the dark room, and it's going to save us a whole lot of time later, and that's the entire reason we do this before we get the lantern, because there is a much slower way where we get the lantern beforehand, but, you know, we're trying to go fast. This is a speed run, right? So I'm going to heal one more time, and I'm going to focus on this. I know that I haven't been checking out chat a whole lot, but wish me luck. If you hit a hazard, like the spikes or anything in a dark room, you get sent back to the beginning. So here we go. Down, 2, 3, wait. Up, 2, 3, up. 2, up. Tink, tink, wait, bastard. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Respawn. Here we go again. Down, 2, 3, wait. Up. 2, 3, up. 2, up. Tink, tink, wait, spider. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Tink, tink, wait, up, sidle. Alright, we're good through the first one. Yeah, first dark room. The second one is actually the scary dark room, though. Yep. Yep. Down, up. I'm actually going to play this a little bit safe. I'm going to get the extra soul from a couple of these spiders in the ground, and it's so that we can avoid that. Okay. Left down, nope. Ho, ho, ho. I love this part. Why don't people run this category? It's so fun. So lucky for us, this isn't the hard part of the dark room. Alright. We have to hold full left over here, otherwise we don't get down to the second platform, and we can't get up past a whole lot of spikes. So we have to get faster than that, and we have to pogo off some spikes and wait until the floor breaks. Good. That's good, actually. Okay. Narrowly got past it. Narrowly got past it. Alright, that's the second dark room. We're actually going to force a spawn in the corner over here in order to get some extra soul just for safety. Because I would hate to kill the run on y'all, right? We've come so far already. Just get an extra heal. All them calps. Okay, we have to go through here right the first time because the floor is going to break again, right? A lot of things are going to happen. RNG, whether or not that thing's in the wrong place. That's okay, we didn't get hit by the spikes. Okay. We're out. Alright. Second scariest jump in the entire game. If you fail that, you have to do the dark room again. Notice how we actually, like, so we're supposed to have the dash, obviously, entire time. That's actually a hard jump as well. Okay, I can breathe for a second. Gaming! We didn't even lose that much time. Look down real quick. We're gonna try to interrupt this animation in order to get a faster bell. It worked! We got Insta-Bell. Insta-Bell saves like half a second over fast bell, which saves like a little bit of time over normal bell. It pops up immediately. It's super fun. You just have to look down then up a few times. Okay, this is one of those times I was talking about. If you sit at that bench, your run is dead. You have to reset. That's the scariest bench in the entire game. Oops, that's fine. I'm not scared. I have one mask, but there's nothing around. Everyone calm down. Calm down, chat. Why is everyone concerned? I'm not concerned. We get on this platform so we don't hard fall down here. We do some more of those fancy inventory drops for speed. And this is the tram. See, we have the tram pass. We went all the way back to that one bench that we opened a really, really long time ago. And we inserted the tram pass, and we're going all the way to go get the dream nail. The dream nail is what lets us wake up those 3 people. This is the second scariest bench in the game. If you sit at it, your run is dead and you have to reset. I have killed runs at both of those benches. If you hit up just a little bit too much when you're walking past it. Alright. Now I can say hi to everyone for a second and see how everyone's doing because you hold right a little bit. Except you can't jump or do a couple other things because you do risk hard lock if you interrupt the cutscene by jumping when you get the thing. So. Okay, here we go. We're safe. We're safe. We got it. We got it. Hi, Pantaloon. How's it going? Did I scare you yet? Oh, hey, Jay. How's it going? What's up, everyone at Retro Rainbow? You enjoying the run so far? Is it scary enough for you? Is the constant risk of death keeping you on the edge of your seats? It's keeping me on the edge of my seat. Thanks, Tabletop Steve. This is the only part of the entire game where it is easier and chiller than any percent, because in any percent you have a dash here, so these constantly spawning platforms, like, it's kind of like difficult to navigate them. We don't have the dash. Our speed limit is holding right. So what we do is we hold right and we jump a few times. So this is the nicest part of the entire run. Yeah. Alright, let's get the dream nail from this weird ghost moth. So with the dream nail that we were probably supposed to get a whole lot long time ago, we're gonna go wake up our friends. Never been worried this whole time, nothing but faith, thank you Cosmic. Alright, and remember that bench that we took in the very bottom of the scary spider hell area? We're gonna quit back to it, and that's why if you take a bench at any point, you kill your run. Because what we're gonna do now is a whole lot more unintended platforming and a skip up to one of the bosses. A boss that you're supposed to do, so there's like a bunch of bosses in this game, obviously. There's 3 of them that guard the 3 things that are asleep. So we have no equipment. We don't even have the bare minimum of movement mechanics you're supposed to get in this game and should not be able to complete the game without. We don't get that charm that increases your attack power and allows you to get good cycles and all that. So we're gonna go fight the hardest boss from any percent with even less equipment than any percent. We will be taking the safety bench. What guards Hera, Yamez? I don't know. I guess historically my own gameplay. Sweet. Sweet, Tabletop Steve. I'm glad that it's going so great. I hadn't caught any of them beforehand, but I believe you. This has been a blast. I have a lot of odds to check out, too. So we're allowed to take that bench because, well, everything that's about to happen is going to be kind of scary. And then it's only going to get scarier. Things are going to continue escalating until I GG or RIP, so... Some unintended platforming. We're supposed to have the dash here, except this is the baby version because we just do a few pogos to get to the next area. There you go. That was easy. Okay, this is going to look a little bit scary, but I swear it's fine. We're just going to go up from this basin to the City of Tears. It's definitely going to be okay. Pay no attention to this next pogo. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. We want that thing to be on the right. Okay, nope. It's going to be harder. Okay. Good, good. Okay, they behaved. Yay. That's all movement-based. There's very little RNG in that. Same thing with the Mantis Pogo. It's deterministic, but it's incredibly difficult. We're going to heal up on some soul over here. I'm not going to do a fireball in this next room. We have to open this elevator because after we kill the boss, we're going to end up selling all the stuff that we've been picking up to that one guy. So we open that up so we can just go to the right afterwards. That's going to be pretty important in a little bit that we opened that. Alright, we're supposed to have a double jump at this point. But shoutouts to this vase in particular. Because we don't need the double jump thanks to that vase. Alright, we're going to hit a lever through the floor and we're going to go. Everything's going to be great. Don't worry. It's okay. We have several tries. Okay, I am going to take the safety bench over here just because we're coming up on a boss fight that is the hardest boss fight in this run by an order of magnitude and the hardest boss fight on 80%. Yo, 2-2-2-2. That is very, very satisfying for two reasons. One, it's a lot of support, and two, all the numbers are the same. Alright. This is a dark room, but it's like, it's not a big deal. You just hold right and you jump a few times. I listen for an audio cue. I go left, I go up, and we're up. See? There you go. That's an easy dark room. Nothing like the other one. So we have full soul, and we are headed up to the boss fight. There are a couple of these things, so we're just going to drop a chandelier on one of them. It's definitely fair. But it is faster. Okay, wish me luck. This is actually like the biggest reset point in the entire run. It's the hardest combat by a lot. Nice triples. Usually you can't do that without the dash and shaman stone. GG. Whew. Alright. Now my adrenaline will go down. That wasn't that bad. There were a couple of really like kind of monka-esque pogos in there that I used the iframes from the pogo to like, yeah, yep. Alright, that went pretty well. Well enough. Looking at my splits, that was actually a really good fight. Didn't really lose that much time. Alright. So, two of the most difficult, scariest splits are sandwiching a much more tame split. So right now what we're going to do is we're going to wake up our friendo here. There are 2 friendos more to wake up. This jump you have to wait till the last second because you're supposed to have the dash, so you can actually fall there, and it's kind of funny because you lose 10 seconds. Nah, Blitzy, I would play Hollow Knight. I would just maybe get some equipment, you know? That's what I would do. I would definitely encourage you to play Hollow Knight. Super good game, super friendly community. Play Hollow Knight, speedrun Hollow Knight. Don't pick up low percent as your first category. Pick up low percent if you want a challenge, you know, it's fun. Doing it fast and doing it as your first category is probably not a good idea at first. Yeah. But it's super good. Super, super good. We hit some elevators. We walk around. We do some inventory drops. It's super chill, you know? Like, why don't people like this category? It's a lot of walking, a lot of chilling out, a lot of seeing the sights, you know? Thankfully, there aren't any more in this room. It would have been really mean if there was like 1 or 2 like still in there afterwards, like they do with the Charm Notch shrooms. Also, don't play platformers. Well, it'd be a great first platformer. That's what Whimsy did. That Husk Sentry can be in the way there and kill your run, because it does 3 masks of damage and can block the exit. Alright. So I don't know if you saw, but we've been accruing money, and we grabbed 2 of those relic thingies that I mentioned. The one really scary one with all the explodey spores all around. And there was another one on a shelf that I don't know if you saw, but we got as soon as we beat the boss. And we opened up a chest for some more Geo. So we open up a few gates, and then we sell those relics to Lem, who collects relics. He's going to tell us a whole lot about the relics and their importance to the lore and everything, but we're going to skip through it because it's faster, and also it's in Chinese, so I can't actually read it. But he does say Helmadelka, and Kachale, and several other great nonsense bug language words. Shoutouts to Leth, the voice actor for that guy. He popped in a few times, really nice. Some of my favorite lines in the game, and I repeat them a lot because I see them like hundreds of times. Yeah. Oh, Paul.
Oh, Paul.
Kachale.
Helmadelka.
Helmadelka. Chat making me proud. Boop. Alright. The chill time where we're just walking around is kinda over. We have to do some unintended platformings. Some. Gather some soul. You might know from the any percent route that there is a gorgeous husk, which is just a solid gold bug that drops a whole lot of money. And we're going to go up and get that now so that we have over 2,000 Geo, and that is all the money we need for the entire route. This is a jump, which we can't make, so you have to go on the side. That'll be important for later, that we had to go on the side of that platform, because that was like a tiny jump on the side of that platform. But there are a couple of jumps on the sides of platforms that are a lot scarier. So with our unupgraded nail and our unupgraded fireball and our non-dash. So it's possible to make those fireballs double the same way that we did in that fight, except without the shaman stone, it's a lot harder to get them to double. So you actually have to do a 4-hit combo and do a little side hop in order to get them to double. Where in any percent, you just kind of do like 3 hits, then fireball over and over again, and it works. But not so much in low percent. Yar, Captain Mintbeard. I should play Psychonauts. So after all that time, we are finally on our way to go get the lantern. As soon as we have no more dark rooms to do. But hey, whatever, right? We needed to open a gate. I'll point that out when we get to it. The other interesting part about this route right now is that not only do we use the tram pass because it is not a percentage, but it allows us to skip the Gruzmother. The Gruzmother is not a hard boss. In some cases, it is the first boss you encounter because a lot of people find it even before, like, the False Knight, which is what we fought before. So, like, it's the first boss ever. It's literally, like, a giant bug. It sort of waddles around the screen. You hit it, like, 12 times, and it dies. So we're not skipping it because it's hard. We're skipping it because it's a percentage. But that means that we have to route all the way around it. So the route that we're going over here to go rescue a guy that's trapped in the bottom, in his little house, is to avoid that Gruzmother percentage. So the reason we went all the way up from, you know, the depths of hell, all the way up into City of Tears to go wake up our friends, and then take him the tram pass, and we're going here through Blue Lake. We're going out the other side, over here. Here's a very nice woman that sells charms. We don't ever meet her. This guy screams and then explodes. Typical. All to avoid the sleeping thing up there. We rescue Sly. He's very helpful. We actually only need him because we have to buy something from him. You see that up there? Up. That's the asleep thing that we're not allowed to kill. So we avoid it. Fast. Ow. Okay. Again, max damage doesn't matter because we're going to be taking a bench in order to warp to it in a little bit. So, as long as we get through here in one piece, we're fine. Here's that stag station that we went to a really, really long time ago. He's actually still here waiting for us. Very nice of him. Oh, that was an interesting sidle. And now we're back in Dartmouth. So here we take this bench. It's the bench we're going to warp back to after we get the other movement upgrade. Here we go. We bought the lantern. Yay. And do we use the lantern to see in the dark? No, we use it to open a gate. Alright. So, this split is the rest of the reason people don't run this category. It's a series of platforms that allow you to get something called the Crystal Heart. Even this room is scary. That's why it's scary. Also, they explode if you kill them, which does 2 masks of damage. We did the same animation interrupt to get the fast gate there, by the way. I am going to heal for safety and just refill soul because I am not dying here. It'd be a huge time loss. So this entire section is built around the dash, as is most things in the game. But we don't have it. So what we're going to do is a bunch of fireball skips and platform sidles. And it is my favorite split. My favorite split in the entire run. It's really, really cool. It's really different than the other categories. You have to do a lot of really weird stuff in order to get past it. That's nice. That was moving in the right direction. Full masks, full soul. What could possibly go wrong? This is the hardest split and the hardest platforming. After having beaten Ori recently, I can say confidently that I would rather just play Ori than have to do this. And it's mostly because of one room. Okay, I am going to take a heal because I take an intentional damage boost to get a quick cycle in this room. So we're going to go up and pogo, and we're going to take a damage boost. We're going to use the iframes to get past this laser. Oh, no we're not. We're going to take damage from the laser. I lied. I lied to you, chat. But that's okay. We're going to refill on soul. I'm going to play it super, super safe. Whimsy's laughing. Just turn iframes off. Makes it easier. I mean, we don't want to get too good at the game, right? It'll be embarrassing beating the game with only 11%. There is a reason that we open that, and it's if we die. So hopefully it doesn't come up. There's a reason we open that too, and it's if we die, and hopefully it doesn't come up. These are a couple of my favorite jumps in the entire game, in any category. They're very, very fun. So the reason that we get this soul here isn't because we want soul, it's to get a fast cycle. So watch all the lasers disappear. It's very, very, very tight, but it's possible, see? Nope. Try again. So unfortunately, we don't have soul for that anymore now, so we have to do the more difficult platform sidle method. So wish me luck on that. Okay. Just gonna play it extra, extra safe. And we're through. See, that wasn't so bad. Here we unlock the Crystal Heart. This is a dash, it isn't the dash, I suppose, not the Mothwing Cloak. But it does allow us to go pretty fast, and it allows us to clear a lot of gaps and stuff. So, something you haven't seen in this game yet is that there's acid in this game. And like any good Metroidvania, whatever thing, right? Eventually you get something that allows you to go past it. Not really a spoiler. Makes sense. We don't get that thing, of course. Also not a spoiler. Makes sense. But what we can do is go up against a wall and dash over stuff. And there are varying degrees of unreasonable for it. Thank you for all the bits, Pantaloon. Shoutouts to everyone pouring out the support for this. That's RNG and pretty unlikely. That tactic can interrupt your crystal dash, and does only if you're on pace or running in a marathon. But we do a couple of crystal dashes, we skip some acid, it's all nice. No dash, so we have to do that pogo. Just gonna heal up here for a second, just make sure we're all good. Here's an acid skip. You can just crystal dash right on that platform. Very, very convenient. So I'll be taking this kind of safe. And I'll be taking the safety bench before this next boss. So, there's another dreamer. That's what they're called, all of our sleep friends that we keep waking up. And it's guarded by a jellyfish. And the jellyfish's name is Umu, and it is a huge RNG point for the run, and it is cycle-based, which means that there are points where it is vulnerable and we can attack, and points where it is not vulnerable and we can't. Every cycle, it has a chance, a small chance, apparently, of giving an extra attack. On the any percent route, with all the upgrades and all 2 of them, it is possible to get a 2 cycle. On the low percent route, it is very narrowly possible to get a 3 cycle. So, minimum 3 cycles for this fight, probably 4 even if things go well. You'll notice that there's a lot of points in the fight where I'm going to very specific points on the wall because we want the jellyfish to be in the correct position for all that we have to do. It'd be nice if we had the dash so we didn't have to take damage there, but unfortunately we have no such luck. Not in this category. We draw it to the bottom right-hand corner, and then if it doesn't give us an extra attack, we try to get as many fireballs and nails and double up as possible. So we sidle on this edge of the wall to set up the quick kill. Second cycle. That's actually fine. It's preferable because we want to be in the right position for this. That was intentional. Just very risky. Okay, we did not get the 3 cycle, which is unfortunate. I'm gonna try not to die here. It was possible. It was worth going for. Oof. Oof. My B. That's alright. We can try for another 3 cycle. We almost got it, though. We were very, very close to getting it. That's why we take the safety bench. It would have been cool if we got the cycle. That's an F. Yup. There we go. Very close to being killed. We can try again, though. That's the nice part. Marathon safety, y'all. The optimal strats in this fight is to take an intended acid dunk in order to set up the quick kill there. It's just obviously very risky when you have no upgrades. Let's try to set this up again. You get to see all this nice fun movement all over again. An extra attack. Okay, well that's RNG and bad. So no 3 cycle for us because that is completely RNG. You'll notice that it was 1 more attack than we got the last time at this phase. So in an any percent run, usually that means a small time loss and you can still get the cycles. In a low percent run, usually it means you cannot get the cycles because you don't have a movement mechanic in order to reset up the boss. We have our 2 masks, we have some soul. Play it safe on these platforms. That was safe, don't worry. We got another extra attack. Okay. Sure. A lot of people call this fight RN Jelly because, you know, RNG and jellyfish. Literally 1 fireball. So the person talking is actually the little bug helping us. His name is Quirrell. He doesn't really remember a whole lot, but he remembers he's supposed to help us, I guess. There's a lot of lore of this game we're skipping out on. He also seems to be the only person who knows how to wake this thing up that's in here, which is another one of our sleep buddies. Shoutouts to Quirrell. Super nice of him to constantly help us. How is that safe? That was the safest thing you could come up with, Cosmic. I don't have a dash and that's a homing attack. What did you suggest I do? RN Jelly. Alright, we are at 2 out of 3 people to wake up. Not bad. Two things left to do in the entire game. We wake 1 more person up, and then we go and fight the final boss, which is, I think, easier than the Watcher Knights, which is the fight that we had before, but not by a lot. It's a pretty fun fight. It's a great way to end the run. I don't have a dash, you know? You'd think that I'd remember that after all this time. But no, I hit the dash button and nothing happened. As it shouldn't, because I don't have one. So it actually, again, doesn't matter if we take damage over here because, remember those dark rooms that we did a really long time ago? The beginning of this run almost, about a third of the way through. So the reason that we do them and we unlock that stag station, that warp point, is because now, instead of doing a lot of tricks that you have to do in any percent and going through some really scary areas in Queen's Gardens to get to Deep Nest, all we do, since we've already been there, is we drop down to the bottom over here, we go to Queen Station, and as long as we have 120 or more no, not QGA or Riot. I'm explaining why we're not doing that. It's faster not to. Also, it's really, really hard without dash and a few other things. So we try to get one more fast bell. Fast bell. Not insta bell, but fast bell. And we can take that bench right before the stag enters. So now we get to go to Hera. I thought about a pantaloon. Not quite on fast enough pace for that, but maybe next time. So you'll remember this, we went past it earlier in the game, and the reason that we couldn't do it before is that we didn't have that dream nail, which allows us to wake up our friends. So our third friend is apparently friends with a lot of these spiders that trap you on a bench and then throw you into their den. Do some crystal dashes, we do some platforming, it'll be fine. This is a very scary area, by the way. We want that to move left, it did not. Okay, if it doesn't move left, you have to do damage tank strats. It looks scarier because it is. If it moves to the left, you can pogo over it, which is faster. Okay, we have 3 masks and no soul, but I can get a little bit more. There are a couple of more devouts, they're called. So there are more devouts that are in the way that we're going to try to avoid. We absolutely have to kill one of them because you cannot damage tank through them. They're one of only a couple of enemies in the game that you can't damage tank through. That was good. We save that grub because we're not a monster and it doesn't lose that much time. We intentionally aggro that one because we don't want it to move back. Because if it moves back, it blocks us and... Please! That was very safe. No one tell you otherwise. Very, very safe. Safest thing I can think of. Oh man, I'm dying. Okay, so all 3 of our friends are now awake, which is good. We can go fight the final boss. Keeping you on your toes, keeping me on my toes, Jay. Almost had a heart attack. I did forget to mention that those devouts, they do 2 damage. So the reason that we're damage tanking is if you smash your face into them before they slice you in half, you only take 1 mask of damage instead of 2 masks of damage. So every time I went to do that, if I screwed it up, then it would have been RIP as well. So it's, again, safer to hit that because we don't want it to back up and screw us up. But all of our friends are awake, which means that we can go beat the game. Yay! I'm hoping everyone's having a good time. I'm having a good time. Low percent. Another scary jump, but that's okay. Help. We crystal dash to this station. We go back to this temple that no one ever talked about. We didn't never visit. There's a whole lot of lore, but I know it's there. You'll know it's there. Almost there. One more thing. One more thing in the game. One more thing in the game, and it's super hype and cool, and I like it. I can't believe I pogoed that one devout thing. Oh my god, though. That gave me a heart attack. Thanks, Pantaloon. Alright, into the Temple of the Black Egg. Off to the final boss. I am going to take the bench beforehand. Normally the game locks you to it anyway, so that if you do die in the final fight, you respawn there. There's a slight chance of hard lock on this pack. It's happened to me disproportionately many times in the entire Hollow Knight community. It's happened to me like at least 3 or 4 times, which is like a high number. So I took that bench and interrupted my dash just for extra safety. Is this going to load? Yeah, it load. Okay. So there's this guy. He looks kind of like us. He's in chains. We're cutting him down. It seems like something's wrong with him. There's a lot of orange everywhere. Turns out he's the Hollow Knight. We're just a Hollow Knight. Don't worry about it. We have to stab him. TJ. Alright, everyone out there, we can relax now. The Hollow Knight is defeated. I guess we've saved Hollow Nest or something, right? We woke up our friends. Good run. Also, for those of you that care, that was a 5-second gold. Calp. Thanks everyone for coming out. Thanks Retro Rainbow for having me. This has been really, really great. Really great. Not a bad run, too. We died to the jellyfish. And we lost a little bit of time in the Dream Nail split because of the respawn in the one dark room. But other than that, super good run. Super good run. Glod. Whew. Can breathe now.
That was a very good run there, sir. MIT Battery.
Oh, thank you.
How goes?
Going good. Going good. Really fun run. I love this category. It's very hard. Yeah. Yep.
Well,
a lot of stuff
do you know
happens.
what's coming up next?
What is coming up next, Dizdon?
Apparently me with Zelda 1 randomizer, thanks
Zelda
to a
1.
lot of you amazing people voting for that in the poll when Kutsu was doing his run. There was a solid lead for Cthulhu Saves the World, and nothing else had donos. So here we are! We're going to be switching over to me.
Oh, heck yeah. That sounds great. I love me some Zelda randomizer. Everyone here, stick around for Zelda 1 randomizer with the Dizdon. Thanks so much for having me, by the way. Really fun.
We're very glad to have you.
Yeah, I said heck. Yeah, Chad, I said heck. I say heck sometimes. I'm very PG. What, you got something
I
to
say lots of things worse than heck, but yeah, I will catch you later, and I will do the switch over here, so just give me one hot second.
Sweet. Let me know when to count down. I'll kick off, we'll kick you on, and we'll get some randomized Zelda 1 going. Sounds great.
Alright, countdown from 5.
5, 4, 3, 2...